On a positive note, though, the Miami Heat have beaten the Toronto Raptors, sort of like the revenge what they did to us back in January. Remember that? One of the worst games I've ever seen in my life with the Miami Heat. Redemption. We've beaten the Raptors 125-103. And, you know, the win itself is satisfying. Well, not quite, because we still got one more game against them on Sunday, which at this moment, Sunday, is now bigger than we've anticipated from late in the season. And I'll tell you why when we get there. So, when we look at... I picked the wrong game. There we go. So, let's look at the box scores real quick. So, Kelly Olynyk, former Heat, remember him from the NBA Finals years ago? He got 8 points with three for 7 in field goals, 2 for 2 in free throws with 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Grant Jr. with 7 points with 3 for 13 in field goals. One of them is a three-pointer, so one three-pointer out of 7. 1 rebounds, 1 assist. R.J. Barrett, who was from the Knicks, was involved in a trade. I mean, I watched him play. I remember the day where I went to Madison Square Garden, and I brought you guys along with me. When they played the Heat, he scored 40 points in that one. This game, he scored 35. He had 1 three-pointer, 13 for 18 in field goals, 8 for 10 free throws. 11 rebounds, so he has a double-double. 3 assists. And then he got Quickly with 15 points with 3 three-pointers. 4 for 11, so 1 more in the paint. 4 for 4 in free throws with 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Grady Dick with 8 points with 2 three-pointers, 1 more in paint with 1 rebound. That's it. Now, off the bench, you got Temple with 5 points. And then you got Bruce Brown from the Denver Nuggets. I remember him. We don't need to talk about that. Anyway, he scored 14 points, 2 three-pointers, 5 for 6 in field goals, 2 for 2 free throws, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Former Hurricane came back to Miami. Just while I mention it. Anyway, for the Miami Heat, Jovic with 22 points off the starters, with 4 three-pointers, pretty good, 9 for 18 in field goals, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Jimmy Butler with 14 points, with 2 three-pointers, 4 for 7 in field goals, 2 for 4 in free throws, with 3 rebounds, 7 assists. Caleb Martin with just a three-pointer with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Bam Adebayo with 19 points with a three-pointer. He has made a 3. 8 for 10 in field goals, 2 for 4 in free throws with 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Tyler Hero still playing pretty good from his injury return with 17 points, 3 three-pointers, 4 for 10 in field goals. 6 for 6 in free throws with 3 rebounds, 5 assists. No Terry Rozier due to neck spasms. Duncan had a syndrome, they said. Hopefully he's okay. Off the bench, a couple of players stands out. Kevin Love with 14 points with 2 three-pointers, 5 for 13, including the hook shots he keeps making. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. And a bunch of bench players coming off. 9 points for Haywood Highsmith. You know this video won't be long if I see a lot of bench players coming off, like Cole Swider, Orlando Robinson, Jamal Cain, Andrews William. And then Jaime Jaquez played terrific basketball. 20 points off the bench with 2 three-pointers, 7 for 15 in field goals, 4 for 4 free throws with 4 rebounds, 9 assists, so almost a double-double, 2 steals, and a block. Terrific game for Jaime Jaquez. It really is. The Heat start off 33 for 22 in the first quarter. And another great second quarter with 33 points. So it adds up to 66 to 50 halftime score. So pretty good. Third quarter, it's an evenly close one with 26 to 25. Toronto Raptors was actually making this comeback in the third quarter. And I'm thinking in my head, are you kidding me? Are we really going to lose to a Toronto Raptors team who previously went through a miserable, and I mean miserable, 16-game losing streak back in a month of, I want to say, March. February to March or something like that. Recently April. I could be wrong. So I think it's March to early April. But my point this is a team you should beat. Before they went on this losing streak, they were actually stable, and then that happened. Their season collapsed. It was I could imagine just how bad the season and just daunting, kind of like the Marlins, sort of like that with the Marlins. But at least with the Raptors, you at least have some days off where you don't have to think about that. For baseball, it's every freaking day. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The Raptors were coming back. There was a coach's challenge. It wasn't a third quarter. Oh, yes, it was in the third quarter. Now I remember. It was in the third quarter. Tyler Hero had the shot off. The leg came off. The leg was sticking out, sort of like that. Toronto challenged this call, and it was a successful challenge, but the timeout is lost because it was a mandatory timeout, so they took that anyway. And it was Toronto's ball because by the time the whistle fouls were called, Toronto already had the basketball in the possession. That's why. So the referees made a good explanation. So that's pretty much what transpired. So that's pretty much it. So the third quarter was close, but we were still decently ahead. Not too comfortable. But the fourth quarter, we did our job. And that's where the score lies, 125 to 103. 3 out of 4 quarters were scored 33 points. Pretty insane, right? The same numbers over and over. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I just think it's daunting and weird that the same numbers came up with the 3 quarters, right? It's weird. It's just weird. I'm just saying it's weird. Too much of a coincidence? I don't know. Probably not, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that they have that. I don't know. I have no idea, folks. You do your weird numerology bullshit. But I don't believe in that stuff. But either way, so that's this game, 125-103. So we're back on winning tracks. All right. I would end the video off here. Oh, shoot, before I continue. When we look at the team stats, field goal percentage, clearly in favor of Miami's. 3-point percentage, clearly Miami's. Free throws, they give it to Toronto because they shot one less and made one more than Miami did with 86.4, with Miami at 78.3. Toronto had more rebounds than we do. Miami has way more assists than they do. We have more steals than they do. We have one more blocks than they do. So not much blocking. Just only 3 blocks the entire game. 17 turnovers committed by Toronto. No technical fouls, and our largest lead was 25 points. Toronto has never led the game at all. So never blew it. So that's where it's at. Okay. All right, everything else. I would end the video here, but we need to talk a little bit. All right. I want to bring your attention to a couple of games. Game 1, Orlando Magic versus Philadelphia 76ers. With this game, I'm not going to go into full detail like I would with the Miami Heat. That would be, that would be more of my friend's thing if he was watching all these games. So anyway, this game, Philadelphia versus Orlando in Philadelphia. Philadelphia actually beats Orlando Magic 125, kind of the same score as the Miami Heat did. 113 for the Orlando Magic. All right, I tell you this because we do have a tiebreaker against Orlando Magic. Their loss brought them down into the Eastern Conference standings. They were at 5th. I don't exactly know where they're at right now because they have not updated anything. But I can make a pretty good guess. They're probably going to be in 8th in the Eastern Conference, and we're going to be up in 7th. However, there is one more game now I could speak a little bit about, and that's Indiana Pacers at Cleveland Cavaliers. And Cleveland actually beat Indiana 129-120. I tell you this because there's a chance they could be in the play-in as well, and we might actually end up being in 6th, and Philadelphia could be in 5th. I don't know for a couple of reasons. One, the standings is not updated yet through ESPN. Not yet, at least, because I think for the rest of the night they're waiting for the rest of the games to be finished. Let me check NBA app. Maybe they might have a full thing. As I don't exactly know how to use this quite yet. Standings. Oh yeah, they didn't update it either. But either way though, that is something to watch. As we might not even have to play in the play-in. What we have to do for Sunday, and this is why right now Sunday is a huge day for basketball, and I mean massive. I can't believe how massive it has become. A few things have to go right for the Miami Heat. One, they have to win next against Toronto. That's our job to do. Number two, in the events where Indiana did lose again, which is doubtful, and if Orlando loses against, Milwaukee, there could be a chance we play in the playoffs. And we clinch the playoffs. We don't have to play in the play-in. Otherwise, if we lose, we have to play in the play-in. Fight our way to the playoffs for the play-in. And that's exactly what none of us really want anyway. But we'll see what happens with this one. Sunday, massive day for basketball, and especially for the Miami Heat. We'll see what happens. But when it does, we might feel something. We'll see what happens. We'll know more when the time comes. I wouldn't mind start off in the 6th. We play against New York. Or 5th, we play against Cleveland. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Sunday's a huge day for basketball. Be with you guys, that's good too, but this one definitely positive for this one compared to, the other team. Hit the like button, subscribe our content because Miami TVG is back. And when he does, happy birthday with the say what you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign up, folks. Miami Heat still have a lot to play for. And yeah, folks. See you guys tomorrow. Good night.